What's up, guys? Welcome to today's video where I'm going to corner this knucklehead right here to do a full walkthrough of this boat, because every single time we post a picture, a reel, a video of this completely over-rigged XTR 130.
Rigged to suit. Rigged to
Every
suit.
time we post this completely over-rigged XTR 130, we get 1,000 comments about, why don't you just buy a boat or whatever. So today we're going to walk through why he has all this crap on his boat and what is all of this crap on his boat.
What? Where are you going?
All right. What? Hey, we got to do some. We got to do some work right now. You shut. You shut. All right, dude. So here's the deal. Let's talk about this Bonafide XTR 130 because you see the comments like I do.
Yeah.
Let's talk about what's on it. We'll just do the whole bow all the way to stern.
We're just going to talk about the purpose of each item.
Why it's there, what you do with it.
Why, when, what, where.
Why you need it. And then obviously the other thing we're going to do, because this comes up like all the time, is why do you have so many damn rods on your boat? And what are they, yeah, so at some point in this video, we're going to do the...
I'm going to get to justify
why
myself.
So many... Justify, yeah, that's the word.
I get to justify myself.
All right, so here we go. Starting off up here at the front.
Yeah.
With the thing that probably gets the most attention.
And it's probably my most favorite thing on the build, is the Power Pole Move PV 36-inch shaft. Absolutely love this thing. I cannot say enough good things about it. I'll do a separate video later talking about everything that I love about it, but that's all we got right here. This is the Power Pole Move PV 36-inch shaft, like I said. You can see right here. I do want to talk about one thing real quick. You see this display right here? Having that display with the number is just absolutely amazing, but one cool thing about this, and something that's really hard to nail in the fishing industry, is a display that you can see in very bright conditions and low light conditions, and Power Pole knocked it out of the park with this. And what's actually pretty cool about this thing is it's got some kind of photo cell in it, so when we go night fishing and stuff, so you got some lights up here, or you got lights here, and then you got some, watch your feet, don't want to chop a toe up, but you can see right here, look up here real quick. See right here, you got lights that come on for, you know, different things that you do. That's the spot lock, or the anchor mode as they call it. But these lights actually auto dim, and the auto dim is actually set to the perfect amount. So that's the Power Pole PV 36-inch shaft. Let me bring her up real quick and we'll show you kind of what we got it mounted to. Drop this right here real quick. Now I do want to show you this. I want to give credit where credit is due here. Most of your bow mounts, I don't really know of any bow mount that doesn't have, especially if you got it on a quick disconnect, this this U-bolt, U-bracket, U-pin, whatever you want to call it, and they always have some kind of cotter pin or whatever. And I don't have really big hands, so I can only imagine that this is even harder, and the scale gets to be even harder if you've got some sausage fingers. But take your little cotter pin and tie it to your U-pin, because
that's actually not a cotter pin.
What is that?
That's a S-clip.
S-clip.
Cotter pins are the ones you stick through and fold over.
Okay, whatever. Take your pin and tie it to a little piece. This is just a little piece of Dacron. A lot of you guys are bow hunters. This is the same stuff that you make your D-loop out of. And just tie that to you, and I'll show you why. One, if you're like pulling it out above the water on a gravel parking lot, you don't drop it and lose it. But kind of, you know, lining it up to get it in, it makes it a lot easier, because you got this leverage back here and you're not trying to hold, because what happens is, like, you're trying to push it in, but you got to hold it like right here, and you can't, it's just, you know what I mean. And see, my fingers kind of making that gap, so this gives you like a little bit of an extra length to, you know, get behind it to put it in. But then the main point is, like, just to pull it out is,
so when I came up with it, the whole idea was not to lose this pin, but it's actually turned out to be a cool little benefit, that it makes it
little hack for you,
makes it easier to
bow
put it in and
mounters.
out.
Just do that, but we'll show you kind of what we got it mounted to. Set that down, and we'll set that right there. This is the Catch XTR bow mount. Absolutely love this thing. This thing pretty much gets rid of any play that you can imagine, especially with these higher thrust mounts. It takes advantage of the inserts for the OEM handle, or just the stock handle, and you got two good sized bolts that go through there. And then that plate comes up into here, and then you got right here where it ties in. You know, you can't see it because it's under the Power Pole puck, but it ties in right here, and it ties all that together. Then it utilizes the 4 inserts that, you know, that Power Pole, the micro, or the, you know, just the standard footprint. And then, like you said, or like I just said, you got the cross arms. Right, put that Got the cross arms right here. And I'm trying to be sure my dog ain't getting into a fight with another dog. But anyways, you got the cross arms. And what's pretty cool about these cross arms, and then just the way, just a happy accident, is you can actually take your wire and, you know, route it in here. It makes it nice, clean, and neat. We just got that mounted right here with the Marinco 70 plug and receptacle. Don't really pay attention to this right now. This is for a future video on some stuff we are testing, but we'll just drop you a little Easter egg. And then we put this back in real quick. So one thing that I put on pretty much every build, does not matter if it's a monstrosity build like this, or a river build or a creek build, whatever it is, it's just the Rogue ADS, which stands for the adjustable drag strap. This thing on this specific build makes it nice and easy to load and unload your boat on your trailer if you have one. So yeah, really love this thing. This is, like I said, pretty much on every build I got.
It's also a BTS, which if you have a motor and your buddy doesn't, it's the perfect buddy tow strap.
Yeah, I like it. So let's get into...
Or breakdown tow strap.
Yeah, break. So that's pretty much, that's on the bow, the you know, the main propulsion. Let's get into...
Actually, before you do that, I threw this up here as a little thing to remind folks what they need to do to their XTR as soon as they get it.
Yeah, that would be, and it's not even a manufactured thing. It's driving down the road, rattling, is take some Loctite and go through these screws, you know, on the screws that make sense. You know, there's some screws that you may not want to, like specifically the ones that we're going to talk about right here would be these two screws right here. It's just kind of the nature of the beast, is driving down the road, rattling, you may pop one of these out. So when you first get your XTR, or if you got an XTR right now and you haven't done it, just go through and on the screws that make sense, just go add a little bit of extra, or add a little bit, not extra, just go ahead and add your first batch of Loctite. That way you don't end up going to the ramp one day or go fishing one day and you go, oh, I'm missing a screw. So just a little, you know,
little pro tip.
Little pro tip number 2. But let's get into here. This is where all the brains of everything are. But we'll start right here with this. This is a Yak Attack dry bag. They make a couple different sizes in it. This is the 20 liter. This is pretty much what I keep my rain suit in. It stays in my boat pretty much all year round, because you never know. Just like today, high wind comes in, just having that jacket to keep you know, the wind off of you is amazing, or if a pop-up storm comes. So this is the 20 liter. Like I said, they make a 5, 10, 20 and a 30, so depending on how much stuff you want to take or how big your rain suit is, you know, just get the size that fits you. It's got a cool see-through panel so you can know what's in that bag, and then the little purge valve. Next thing I got in here is I keep a sponge in my thing at all times, because as you can see, there was this amount of water in my boat. I don't know what happened. Probably took a bow way over and didn't have my hatch closed properly. So I keep that at the bottom, because most of the time when you're loading or unloading, you're going to shift that water to the front of your boat at some point, and this thing just soaks it up and it's ready there, or it's there for you when you're ready to get that water out. Got a 12 volt Dakota lithium, what was that, a 54 amp hour? Yep. Yeah, so that's the 54 amp hour. This thing is running 3 USBs and then some NAV lights that I have mounted into the front. So it's a little bit overkill, but since I am running, you know, 3 cameras sometimes for 12, 14, 16 hours at a time on a day, I had to put a little bit of extra juice. So, you know, you'll kind of just get that size, or get the size of battery that fits you the best, but that's the one I went with. And then we have all the wiring in here. This is, excuse me, a little bit of a hiccup. This is not the cleanest I've ever done. This is actually probably one of the you know, more cluttered I've done, but I did that because I wanted everything to be functional, because we are always testing new things, trying new things out, and just playing with things. That way we can bring it to you to where you can decide yay or nay on that's the route that I want to go. So I went with something.
Why don't you start on that side and I'll film, and then we'll switch sides and I'll film from the other side.
I just went with something that's super functional. Like if I have an issue or I want to remove or put something new in, everything is right here. Yeah, like you said, we'll go right here. So we have the XTR computer plate right here from Big Adventures mounted right here inside this hatch, which we've got the Active Target 2, you know, the black box mounted, and then the Yak Power. This is the YP-RP5. This is the direct wire 5-switch relay, and that's pretty much all I got it mounted to. I got some extra wire mounted to the back of it, just with some zip ties, and you screw it through the backside, because that computer plate is a little thick, so you can, you know, take some P-clamps and mount some stuff to the back of that. But over here is where all the whips and the tag-ins come in for the SAEs, for the plug-and-play systems of the USBs. And then, like I said, you got the nav lights right here. And then I've actually which we'll talk about here in a second. I've got my DD26 live foot for the Active Target 2 on a switch. That way I can just pull that thing out if there's a day to where I don't want to go out and use the cheater box. So that's pretty much over here. And then right here on the bottom, this white wire you see, this is the trolling motor cable, or the trolling motor harness from C-Clear. So this is the C-Clear Power 16-foot trolling motor harness. And then on the other side, I have another C-Clear Power harness. You'll see them once we go to the back to the BlackPak, where they both come into the BlackPak. They go in the boat, the back of the boat, and then they run down each side.
Here, let's just switch sides and you can walk through your other side over there.
You want to always run, like if you have multiple harnesses, you want to run them on opposite sides of the boat.
I want to say this for this young man. This pains him because he's such a perfectionist as a former electrician, but like he said, because we're always installing other stuff, switching motors out, trying different configurations, a lot of this has to be temporary so that it's accessible and so we can change stuff out.
Yeah, if I was to do this right, you would pretty much not see a single wire, but we're always changing things out. But so like on this side, this is, like I was saying, this is the C-Clear Power. This is the 13-foot harness. Because that wire does not have to come, you know, down and go into the hole and then go around this big block right here and then go up into the back of this plug, you can get away with a 13-foot harness with a battery in the back of your boat, because most of your stuff is going to stop right here, or at least, you know, you can distribute that power with the power link or the power cable link of the thing you're powering. So this is a 13-foot graph harness that's got all my electronics. It's got these 2 graphs on it and then the Active Target 2. That way I have it isolated. That way I can get the cleanest image possible. You know, you spend a lot of money on these graphs, so you want to get the cleanest image possible out of them. So 16-foot for the trolling motor, 13-foot for the graphs. And then that's pretty much it over here. You can see all these cables right here. Since we are you know, kayak fishermen in a bass boat world, you're gonna have some slack. And all I did, you know, normally I would take these and kind of make the, you know, like the figure 8, that way you can clamp it together, and I would shove it up in here and you would probably never see it, or mount it to the back of something. But all the loops and the extra cables are right here. That way if I want to pull something out, it's simple and easy and quick.
The way I set mine up, because he's kind of the test boat, is I actually mounted all that to the back of the computer plate like he's talking about. Because it's so thick, you can use the little P-clamps and you can mount everything to the back, and I can fold it out and move it, you know, flip it over and get to the back of it. But when I'm done, I put it up kind of out of the way. So again, his stuff has to be accessible because he's the...
Which I will say, this is still cleaner than 95% of the rigs that I see out there. Some of y'all should be ashamed of the way you wired it, but hey, I ain't here to crap on
And
anybody.
I do want to say one thing real quick.
Yeah.
He's got the 16-foot harness that C-Clear made for us, because he comes through here, goes all the way down the boat, comes around, across the back to the center, up into the BlackPak, and then in. If you really wanted to, you could use the 13-foot harness, come through the boat. You could come out of one of the power link plates on either side and then into the front of your BlackPak, and you wouldn't necessarily have to use as much wire. But he wanted it to be super clean coming in from the back side, and you'll see more when he gives you his BlackPak walkthrough. But if you wanted to save a little money and not necessarily have to have so much wiring, you could just kind of come out of one of these side plates that Bonafide puts right here, run it down the side into your BlackPak, and it wouldn't be, you wouldn't need the 16-foot harness.
Yep, or if you just got a longer boat, you may, so just pay attention to that. If you're wiring your boat like you got a big Hobie or a longer boat, or not even longer, just the way, like you said, the way you route it. So just pay attention to that. They do make a 13-foot trolling motor and a 16, so they do make a 4-foot too.
As a little tip, I would just take a piece of rope and kind of route it to where you want to route it, and kind of test it, and then measure that rope so you don't end up ordering a harness that's too short.
Yeah. So we got some fuses right here just in the corner. Like I said, I want everything to be functional and easy. So if I ever have a problem, something blows a fuse by accident, it is right here and quick and easy to get. So that's pretty much everything in here.
Actually, no.
Oh, we got this right here.
Stuff up there.
So this is the NEMA system, and I'm going to show you this right here. So this is the NEMA system. This is the NUMIA, not NEMA. NUMIA. Somebody corrected me on this the other day on the internet. I'm still trying to break myself. NUMIA. I don't know where I got the NEMA from.
Like 90% of people call it NEMA.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
NUMIA. N-MEA, I'm pretty sure. So NUMIA. This is just all my stuff right here. You know, you got your point ones. You got to have one to go to the graph. You got to have one that's the power bone. And then we have a little bit of an extra one that goes up here for that future video we will be doing. But all I did was, so the NUMIA system have these, can you see that? You see these little holes through each little backbone. all I did was I took a screw and I put it through here, or it's actually a bolt, it's not a screw. Took a bolt that went through there, and you have this little bit of gap, this distance from like here to go through. So I just got one that was, you know, long enough to keep it from falling off, but not too long to where you end up, you know, punching through this other side of the hole. And all I got to do is pick one of these, line it up, and then you heard it kind of zip in there and it stays there. Have no issues, never had it bounce off. But because, like I said, we're constantly, you know, changing and evolving, it's very easy to take something on, add something off. But I want to show you one cool thing.
Before you do that, remind them about the connectors to the Yak Power relay and how it makes troubleshooting and all that stuff easier when you have your little pigtails.
One cool thing about the Yak Power system, right, is let's say I have an issue with a USB that, like I said, I got one right here on the side, I got one inside this hatch, you'll see in a little bit, is let's say I'm having, these things got numbers on them, right? So let's say I'm having an issue with something on bow, which this would be my lights. And I don't know, or if I'm trying to figure out, is it the light? Did something happen with the relay? Or is it the, whatever. Let's just say B is working, but I'm having a problem with my, right here, I've got the S just for the switch for the, you know, for the live foot. If I have, let's say, B's not working, S isn't working, and I want to be sure I can unplug one, plug this in, and let's say, okay, if I plug that in and now it works, that lets me know there's something wrong with the relay. It's not wrong with the actual switch. So it just makes it easy to,
or the wiring in between.
Or the wiring in between. So it makes it very easy for, you know, diagnosing an issue if you ever have an issue. So that's one cool little happy, not even happy accident, but it's just a cool thing when you have a relay system that you can, you know, plug and play stuff to test something if you ever have something go wrong. Now, this dry bag doesn't only serve as, you know, holding my, you know, clothes dry. I'll show you one cool little tip for, so what you want to do is you want to open this up so you're letting the most amount of air, you know, empty air get in there, and you want to close it and pinch it at the top so you're kind of locking that air in. Be sure your purge valve is closed, and you'll roll this up, and as you can see, those clothes are in there moving, but there's all that extra air trapped in there. And what this thing is going to do is kind of offer, or act like a block. So what I'll do, as you can see right there, I got a little too much air in there, so we're going to let some out. You probably can hear that. Tighten it back up, and then what I can do, shove that back. And what you can see right there, and I'm not hitting my T-bones right here. It's actually going underneath it. So what that just did is it pretty much just tightened everything up because you have that foam block right here, and then you got that computer plate that's right there. And what that's going to do is keep this battery, you know, from moving around. Whether, now I do drive on mine right here. I've had zero issues. That's kind of been me testing, hey, do I want to tell somebody they can do this or not? But I would just tell you, be sure your battery is secure somehow, some way. I've seen some people get real creative and, you know, make a little battery tray in there. So that kind of just allows me.
What I did recently is I just actually made this pigtail longer, and I just started putting my battery in my dry bag and rolling the cord up in the, like you did, and just plug it in. And now it's actually inside the dry bag. I like it. Completely sealed up. So it's probably the cheapest dry box you can buy for a battery.
So that's pretty much everything that's in here. We'll close this up, and we'll get on to the next thing. Now I do have to, what do we want to get into next? We just got a little
forward-facing camera, or your rear-facing camera?
Yeah, a little rear-facing camera. That's the one, those of you that follow, this is the camera that takes all the photos, and this is the angle. If you're trying to, you know, mimicate that angle, it's just right here. We just got an 8-inch extension.
Did you say mimicate?
Mimicate. Breakfast I eat is
duplicate.
Duplicate. Imitate. There's the word.
Imitate.
Imitate.
You just merged two words
together.
Yeah,
I did. I made it up. What do y'all think?
Your mouth outrun your brain.
So yeah, that happens a lot around here. So that's all. That's just
actually give them the rundown of how you made that. That is not a stock item.
No, this is not stock. This is
Yak Attack.
So normally this is the panfish portrait.
Yep.
So it's the panfish portrait, which would be this piece up, and then the bottom, the Yak Attack lock and load base. I just added an 8-inch extension so we didn't get that crotch shot, because in kayak fishing, the gutter shot, the crotch shot happens a lot, and I'm not a big fan of it, and it just gets it up because, you know, the seat on this boat is a little bit higher, so I just added an extension in there just to get that angle up a little bit. That's pretty much, that's right here. Right next to you would be the love of my life other than this power pole move and the graph. This is the DD26 live foot turret. What this thing is it's a Bluetooth switch, wireless, you know, to control it, live sonar turret. So instead of actually talking about it, why don't I just show you? Let me climb up in the side of this boat.
That'd be a good idea.
So like I was telling you earlier, I've got that switch Now this thing does have a little switch for an on off right here, so if you wanted to hardwire it and leave it like it is, now I did bust the cap out of it and lose that, but that's on me. So if you wanted to hardwire it and turn it on and off by here, you can. But like I said, since I wanted that thing to be removable, I mounted it, or you know, ran it to my switch, and I'll just turn that switch on. Let me climb up here and show you kind of how this thing works. Get all this mud off my feet. So you can see that right there. I'm hands-free. You can see my hands right here, hands-free, so I can focus on, you know, if it comes time and it is a day to go out and, you know, use the forward-facing sonar, the Active Target 2, I can be efficient as possible. Those of you that do the forward-facing, you know how frustrating it can be at times to, you know, try to make a cast. You know, you got to do the handle thing. So it's just frustrating. So this just allows me to be as efficient as possible. I want to show you one.
So what you're saying though, sit back.
Okay.
So what you're
While you
saying
tell me
though,
this, I'll grab the next
what you're
thing.
saying though is for all the haters that are going to say it's cheater box, you have a cheater box.
I got a cheater
box.
foot for my cheater box.
But you got a cheater box with a cheater box.
Cheater foot for the cheater box. So yeah.
So you like double cheating.
Taking it to the next level. If I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it, baby. But one cool thing about the DD26, this is anything extra. It comes with, you know, the standard purchase is it's got these two ways to control it. So you can either control it with your feet, or you can control it with this little Bluetooth little key fob thing. And the thing that I like to do is I'll take this little key fob, take the buttons, have them facing out, and I'll slide it in my pocket, because it's never really going to come out, especially if you're wearing, you know, jeans. Is I'll take this thing and I can actually control, you want to show them this? I can control this, and look, I don't have to pick one or the other. It's three-way switch live, so the ability to say, like, you know, if standing on one hip all day, no matter how in shape, how young, how fit you are, you're gonna wear a hip out, especially if it's windy. So having the ability to say, hey, I'm gonna stand up and I'm gonna find something, especially if you're in a search mode, I can use that remote to find something, and then when it's time, you know, to go fishing.
So what you're saying is you can play with it while it's in your pocket?
I can play with it while it's in my pocket.
Okay.
And
so you got a cheater box, a foot steering system, and then a backup remote.
But yeah, that's a good way to put it too, is it could be a backup if something goes wrong with this. I've been running this thing for almost a year now, haven't had any issues, but if something does happen, you got a backup remote, and that's pretty much it on the forward facing. We got it mounted right now. This is not a standard mount. This is actually, you know, I believe every kayak, or at least a true kayak build, has to have a specific amount, or at least one item to be a little DIY. So this is, we're still working on a mount. Still trying to develop, you know, the best mount that we possibly can with catch. But that's kind of how I've got it mounted, and I'll show you, or kind of talk through what everything is. This is a Catch Chubby, is it right? Is it the Chubby?
Stubby.
Oh, Stubby, it's not the Chubby.
That pocket pool comment got you thinking.
Yeah, so this is the Catch Stubby. It utilizes this right here, as you can see, that same grid pattern for those of you that don't know.
This is your Yak Attack lock and load pattern for putting the keyway of a lock and load.
Very useful. As you can see, there's pretty much not an open one on my boat.
I'm surprised you have two of them open.
Yeah, so all it is, you know, using that stubby, not chubby, and then this mount right here, or this arm, is it comes with, you know, when you get the DD26, it comes with it. This is like the adapter you have to use, because, you know, most of these are mounted to a trolling motor, so you got to have some support up top and support down, because this thing does come about 12 to 13 inches longer. I just, you know,
let me explain to them what you're talking about. So normally in a bass boat, this thing is connected to your trolling motor on a double dog bone that sticks off to the side, and then the turret operates independently. So what he did is he used the dog bone connector piece, and it just so happened that with the
take 2 quarter 20 studs
with the Catch
Chubby.
you're about to have me saying it now, Stubby. Take that off real quick. What he did is he used the Yak Attack threaded shafts and just put them in the 2 holes.
Those are quarter 20.
The quarter 20 threaded shaft from Yak Attack, it actually bottoms them out, and then you put it on there, and it just like works out perfect.
Yeah. It's not the best. I'll just beat the comments before they get there. It's not the best for, or the quickest for going, you know, oh, you got to do that every time on and off, but it is rigid. We're going to come up with something that is, you know, fast and rigid, but it does not get any more locked down, because that thing is to the base. There's zero to little play in it, and absolutely love that thing. But that's my little bit of DIY in my kayak build. That certifies it as a kayak build, is that I had a little bit of DIY done to it.
Just a little bit?
Just a little bit. Just one little item. moving on back, we're going to get into the hatch. Mounted to the hatch, we just got 2 track packs. Just got the track pack mounts mounted to that track right there. We'll just, well, let's go up here. I'm kind of working back forwards, but you know, mounted to the 2 tracks up here would be the, oh, almost forgot. Let me tell them how I store it. Almost forgot to, because you don't ride like this, you don't drive like this, and that's the reason you don't want to do that. Because
that's why you carry an extra knob.
I got an extra one back there, but I like to take this thing and you want to turn it. I like to turn mine to where, this is how I store it. This is just a Yak Attack roto grip, and it's got the, I can't remember the name of this thing. I'll put it on the screen right now. The little bungee, I call them little bungee holders, and I just take that and it just it kind of fits. And I've got thousands of miles driving down the road like this and I've had 0 issues. But I will tell you, if you are somebody who drives with your forward face and you don't take it off or take it on and off, you know, trying to set it up every time you go fishing, be sure your transducer is facing away from the traffic. That way rocks and pebbles are not coming up and, you know, damaging those crystals on this thing. Yes, you could buy the shield, have it face the other way, but just a little side note, side piece, I have actually seen somebody who went out first trip, they had that thing mounted it forward, they had it on a different mount, those transducers or those crystals were facing upright, a rock hit the crystal, damaged their LSV34. So yeah, it's not good. Those transducers are not cheap, so be sure you protect them. So that's how that stores going down the road. Chad's got a pretty cool little way of using a
just use a
koozie,
beer koozie, and it slides over the end.
Yep.
Protects it. Like those sonar covers are like 40 bucks, and a beer koozie is usually free from some company that's giving them away, or $3 at a gas station.
Yeah, we got enough to, you know, keep your cervezas cool. But yeah, so we got the 32-inch captain's bridge. You do have to, if you're going to mount a captain's bridge to this, you do have to drill 2 holes, which is very easy. You just lay the board on there, make you some marks, drill your 2 holes. You get a T-bolt and some of these Yak Attack low pro knobs, and mount it to there and bolt it down, or screw it down I should say, and then mount it to that thing would be probably the most talked about, or at least other than, what would you say? It's, I can't post about it without getting, you know, questions and comments
on this mount right here?
This mount right here.
All right, so before we go any further, there's going to be a lot of people that go, why the hell do you have a $135 captain's bridge just to mount your mount to? So why do you have a mount mounted to a mount? Just explain that.
Well, I did that because not only does well, first of all, let's just start. So number 1 tip is it allows me to get it in the center. That way I don't have to buy the backing plate to this and bolt through the hatch and then do all that extra stuff. So first thing is it allows me to, you know, mount stuff in the middle or mount it to wherever I want. You may be somebody who's got one graph and you want it to a little bit to the left or a little bit to the right. So it allows for range of motion for mounting. I could also at one point, you know, take this right here, these the track pack plates, mount it to that. But main thing that I use it for, just to, for my sake, is I mount this in the center, and then like if I do put the Move Kayak kit cables on there, I can put a vertical tie down in these extra tracks right here, and then I can adjust that angle to get the right, you know, the pull and leverage to get that motor up. So it just allows for a bunch of different mounting options. It's not just to mount, you know, the Millennium double graph mount.
So I remember when you first started doing it, and I'm going to remind you,
okay,
there's a couple things that I thought, dude, why are you going to destroy a captain's bridge to just mount your mount to? So what it really came down to, in addition to what he just said, was he was like, well, I don't know exactly where I want this until I determine what the adjustment amount is. So that allowed him to actually move the base fore and aft. It also let him run his cables out through the hole that's in the mount without having to mount this directly on it and it'd be too close to him.
Probably can't even see it.
Yeah.
So for those that don't know, there is a hole that goes all the way through the hatch. So you can go through the hatch and through to wire all your stuff up.
And then the other thing it allowed him to do is adjust the base, moving it left and right. But if he didn't like the base, he wasn't committed to having drilled all of these holes in here, because even though this base is like $130, this front hatch is about the same price. So if you destroyed the front hatch to do it, then you got to deal with that. And it really didn't damage the captain's bridge because you can still use it if you wanted to move it to another build later on. So anyway, I just wanted to
initially
clarify
it was mounted to say, hey, is this mount, because this mount we'll talk about here in a second, is how far forward and back do I want it? So yeah, thanks for reminding me about that, because I did kind of forget about that. But let's get into this bad boy right here, a bad girl. It's the Millennium double graph mount. I went with this mount this year for a couple reasons. One, the seat on this thing is a little bit higher, so the fact that you'll have to look down even more. I'm not a big fan of it. It's always been a huge pet peeve of me. or pet peeve of mine, but we haven't really had a kayak to where we could go higher and have the support without your graphs just shaking all over the place or falling off. So that's number one. Number two is just the infinite amount of adjustability. Since this thing does have a nice deck for casting, sanding, or fishing, being able to say, hey, I want to get up there, I can just take this thing right here, it's open, I can get up here, do everything that I need to do, blah, 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 blah. Another thing that I really love about is it keeps my graphs in line. See, they're stacked on top of each other. Right here we got a Lowrance HDS Pro 12 and a HDS Pro 10. And I like my graphs to be in line. I did it on the SS127 build a few years ago, and I really loved it. Then when I got the Power, or the PWR 129, I went back to the outside, and the whole time using it, I was like, I really miss the stacked version. I don't know what about it. I can't tell you there's any benefit to it. I can only just say I like it. You know how some people have, you know, the graphs, I like the blue palette or the red palette or the green palette better. I just like my graphs in line. It's just a personal thing. So
well, I'll be honest with you, not to interrupt you, but to interrupt you. When I was filming you the other day and you were showing, we were doing a forward-facing sonar video, you know, my graphs are sideways because I wanted them lower profile for skipping and stuff like that. But I was actually filming you going, damn, that's a lot easier to correlate what you see on the map for structure scan or DSI or 2D sonar to what you're seeing on forward-facing sonar, and it's easier to line up everything. So honestly, it makes more sense.
Okay, so maybe I've just been doing it subconsciously.
From an efficiency standpoint and from like correlating stuff. So like if you're driving around with your map on and you go full screen structure scan, or you go bottom structure scan, top 2D, whatever, it actually makes it super easy to like correlate what's what.
I agree.
Whereas I got to look over here and say that's that over there and kind of go, yeah. So to me, this actually makes more sense. I'm not sure I'm going to do it because of this thing.
Yeah,
and you're way more of an offshore fisherman and a grapher than I am.
It's all give and take.
I've turned my forward-facing sonar on a grand total of 3 times. You've turned it on 3 or 4 times a day.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So let's just get into some other things. This thing, like I've been saying, probably said it a couple times now, is full range adjustability. So let me back this out a little bit. So like this thing, as you can see, no matter where I go, it's got that pivot. This is 1, 2, 3, like 4 different angles of pivot. I can take this all the way over here. Like a lot of times, right, let's say I'm going to a new lake or whatever it might be. My trailer has it set up to where the out is this way. I can actually lock this in place, and like I can get on my graph at night. If I'm at the house, I'm getting ready for a tournament, whatever it might be, I can leave my graphs hooked up, and then all I got to do is swing this out because my trailer opening is that way, and I can.
Oh damn, that's a good idea.
I can do all my work with.
About that.
Or because I am running a Lowrance, we don't have a, you know, you Garmin users have the ability to have the quick disconnects. I do kind of have to put these cables on every now, or you know, connect them in. It only takes like 15 seconds, but what I'm trying to say is like wiring them up every day. I'm not trying to wire that graph up like this way. I just slide this out, do my thing, and slide it back in. So there's that, you know, that right there, that adjustment is the up and down angle. And then you have, which is probably one of the favorites, is got this little knob right here. Yes, it does get longer. That one length you just saw it fixed at is really puts it up in your face, and that really puts it in perspective. And just for reference, I'm 6'2" ish, so that thing is really up here. If you're even a little bit shorter, I mean, that thing is in your face. And me and Chad have this conversation. Well, not really me and Chad, it's mainly me and my messed up brain. Y'all get down in the comment section right now and tell me if y'all agree with me, because I think it is, because there's no way it's not. You look at a JT Tompkin, you look at a Trey McKinney, you look at, you know, some of these, you know, smaller anglers, not trying to crap on them, it's just some people, you know, they're vertically challenged, and you look at those guys and then you compare them to an Eastern Fothergill or a Gerald Swindell, who are all like 6'4", 6'3", you know, taller than me, and they're tall. They're a tall human to be fishing. When they're fishing, right, so most of those guys, they have anywhere from a 12 to a 22-inch graph, you know. So a JT Tom, this right here is what JT's at on a 12-inch screen.
I think he's a little lower than that.
Okay, he might be right here, right? And then you got a Gerald Swindell who's even taller than me probably. He's like up here. That has got to be an advantage one, for the detail your mind, because there's times I'll go out there and I'll pitch a minnow out there to something, and I'm like, and I'm trying to see what that is, and I'll do that maneuver. You'll see like Drew Gill does it all the time on MLF Tour. He'll be down there like that, and he's trying to see detail. So y'all get down in the comments, do you agree with me that being a little bit shorter is not only an advantage just to be able to see them, but also like the strain on your neck, because their angle to neck is not that high, so you'll be able to keep it up anyway.
So for those of y'all that are old enough to remember, what he's saying is if you were in the Lollipop Guild on Wizard of
I don't
Oz,
even know what that is.
You should be ideal at forward-facing sonar fishing.
Jockey, you know, like they would be the ultimate scoper. I mean, because they'd be like right here. They just anyway. So this thing. All right, let me get into this.
All right, time out.
Yeah.
All right, guys, I'll be honest with you. I had to just cut the camera right there because I was doing the pee-pee dance for about 30 minutes, and I just had to, you know, kind of get into that point where I'm so old that when I have to pee, like I have to pee.
Got to go.
I got to go. All right. Back to the video.
Yeah, so let's talk about...
Actually, let me ask you. I thought about this when I went to do the pee break. Do you think that right about now that the Randy Blockett fans are about to lose their ever-loving mind on this video?
I absolutely hope so.
All right, back to the video.
So, other than the advantage.
What do you think?
She don't know. She just got a block of wood.
Right.
Where'd you find that? She don't know. Anyway, here's the actual functionality of this mount, all jokes aside. It's not only for, you know, for forward-facing sonar, the ability to have that, because this is my forward-facing screen, is the bigger one, is it gets it up. I can see more detail, less strain on the neck if you're on a pattern like, hey, I got to do that all day long. So you get that. But here's the actual functionality of this graph. He just said a second ago, I'm a bigger offshore fisherman. I love offshore fishing. It's fun. Okay, this is the position of, you know, I stand and fish 99% of the time. If I'm sitting down, it's to go somewhere, or I'm retying. A lot of times I retie, stand. Anyway, let's get into it. So here is the big advantage of this boat or this mount, I should say. We'll get this mounted to the right setting. We got that right there.
You want to remind them about the
Yeah, I'll tell them here in a second.
Right, cool.
So this boat, I wanted my cockpit to be very wide open because I am standing a lot, and when it comes time to catch a fish, land a fish, I have a lot of room. You know, these graphs aren't usually up here, but like I can look at that. That's a pretty wide stance.
Just show them the cockpit view from.
So here's a pretty wide, like I'm pretty spread out, as you can see right here. I'm past outside of being square with the hips, and that's all open space. So let me hand this back to him real quick. As you can see, let me be sure something real quick. Yeah, we're good. So you can see right here, the seat is further back. And so when it's time to go offshore and find stuff, if you're an offshore fisherman, you're gonna do the seat time thing, where you go out and you just, you know, you sacrifice some fishing time to hopefully mark some stuff, you know, schools of fish, brush piles, hard spots, shell beds, grass lines. You're sacrificing time to hopefully make up for it. And having these screens right here to where I can just, you know, oh, I'm going along, look, there's a school of fish, there's a brush pile. Just being able to hit it, boom,
Hey, real
boom.
quick, tip within a tip. It's the first week of November.
What's
so
that?
what should they be looking for if they're driving around on their graphs right now trying to find some
You
fish?
need to go find you a brush pile, and you need to take you a big glide and just throw it over the top of them. If you ain't got a forward-facing sonar, what would you give them? You're the more old school.
Ditches.
Ditches?
I'll be looking for ditches.
Ditches, okay, go find that deeper
Ditches
water.
going into
especially
and out of
because the lakes are
coves.
drawing down.
Finding curves in ditches coming out of coves would be what I'm looking for right now.
Yep.
Because even though I'm not as much of a forward-facing sonar,
You do know how to fish offshore.
I graph to set myself up for places to go back and fish, and you kind of fish off your graph, which I'm learning to do a better job of.
They all got their time and place.
But ditches, man.
Yeah, so there's your
Ditches.
tips. Brush piles and ditches. A ditch or a brush pile in a ditch, oh, game over.
Or a
But
stump on the curve.
That's it.
With
So
a jig.
That's pretty much what I love, or that's the functionality of this graph and why I love it so much. As you can see right here,
There's the view.
that thing is pretty much in my lap. I do have a little bit of monkey arms, but that thing is pretty much in my lap for reaching, for seeing detail on side scan, down scan, whatever it might be. So it brings it a little bit closer. That 12-inch screen further away, it's closer to you, so it looks bigger, so you see more detail. But also love, just like I was just telling about, the function to bring it up. Ultimate functionality. I'm kind of rambling on this thing.
All right, so while you're in the seat, Guys, just so you know, this is the third time we filmed this video. We tried to film it twice on the water, but it was just kind of a pain in the butt with the wind blowing.
We had an audio issue.
About 300 miles an hour, and we had audio, so we decided to come put it on the stand. But this will be a good opportunity for you to show them how you use the Yak Attack phone holder, how you've got the side piece set up from Catch. And while he's getting ready to show you guys that, I'm going to let you know that the side piece, this is the prototype version of it, that is on Austin's Kayak.
Is that the official name?
What's that?
Is that the official name?
Side piece?
Side piece?
You don't like that?
Bro, you about to have some husbands get in trouble.
So anyway, this is the side piece. It allows you to use that dead space on the seat. You can adjust it in and out, but what's really great about it, and the reason that it actually came to fruition, is I actually use my seat a lot, moving it back and forth. And to move it, you have to like move everything else on the track. So what we decided to do is put everything on this little side piece, make use of the dead space. You can actually flip this either way. We've made quite a few improvements to the new version, but this will be available. Actually, it'll probably be available by the time this video comes out. But what we're going to do is we're going to do a giveaway for 3 of these side pieces for everybody that comments side piece on this video. But you remember how when you're in elementary school and they told you to use it in a sentence? I want you guys to get creative and come up with the best use of the phrase side piece
on
in a comment. Keep it rated G or PG-13 at least.
We got kids in these comments.
We got kids in the comments, but come up with a comment with side piece, and we're going to pick 3 winners for the retail version of it. That's what do you call it, anodized and ready to go and all that good stuff. Colored up and all that.
Sexified.
And so, anyway, now back to the how do you use everything here.
Before we move on, I want to talk about 2 things more real quick on this, and we'll move off of this because I'm sure they're tired about it. Here's what I love about this thing. Come around.
Oh, we forgot to talk about your bow setup up here.
Yeah, anyway, he's getting ahead of himself, but I'll rile him in for y'all. So here's another thing I love about this mount is these holes right here for each bracket to get your wires in there, you know, nice and clean. Most of your brackets you have to go under or over, and it's just not as clean. So having that there is pretty nice. And then the other thing that I love about this thing, let me shrink her up real quick, is this function right here. So, you know, most of your graphs, or like you can see right here, I've got this graph pretty flush, but then I've got this one kind of canted in just a hair because of with sun glare and everything. And then just seeing the way that I see things, just having it, you know, angled back a little bit just allows me to, you know, get rid of that sun glare. But it's got this one last adjustment, and this is to lean on or, you know, dive into more of the infinite adjustability to fit you the best, is you back this last one out and look at that. It's moving both screens at the same plane. Most of the graphs out there, you have to move the graphs individually. And here's another thing, is most of the graphs out there that are dual graph inline mounts, they're stacked. You're gonna have a, can you see me?
Yep.
You're gonna have a graph that's farther back or vice versa. I've seen some where it's opposite. And I just like it, makes it just kind of what Chad was saying, like lining things up when they're on the same plane, makes it nice and easy. And then the last thing, and then we're done with this graph mount, we're going to get into the hatches. Is you see these teeth?
Sponsored by Millennium, bro?
I'm not. They should, as many of these things.
You give them a shout out?
Yeah, hey, hit your boy up, please. All right, so you can see right here, those are aluminum teeth. And I'm going to give you a tip right here because I felt, you know, I did this wrong. So when you go to make your adjustments, be sure you back your teeth completely out and they're not touching each other, because if I'll even do it a little bit because I'm going to talk about something else. Like, you see how that's like halfway, and then let me back it up. If you don't do it all the way, you can make those teeth and you can wear them teeth out over time. It will take a little bit, but eventually you're going to wear them teeth out to where there is no teeth. It'll be flush, so there is no way for it to bite and for it to, you know, hold its place. Now I will tell you, it is pretty cool if you do make the mistake like I did, is Millennium. That is a replaceable part. Down here you've got some teeth, and right here you got some teeth. It is a replaceable part. You don't have to buy the whole mount. You know, this is obviously into the 3 sections, but the teeth on each side are replaceable with 4 Phillips head screwdrivers. But just to save you from having to do that, or you're out there and that's the trip to where you, hey, you go put my graphs up. Now these are 2 big graphs. These are the HDS 12 and it's heavy, and you slam it against the deck. That's not good for it. So just keep that in mind when you do move any of these mounts, is to back that thing completely all the way out before you decide. So use that support, you know, hold the graphs up and support it before you move it. And you're not also, because I know it's going to happen, you're not making 3 adjustments every time you want to use this graph. Like I'm in 2 positions, and just go out on the water, find that happy angle to where maybe, hey, this graph is a little more in, and that way when I bring it up, it's at the perfect level. Just play with it. You don't have to move every 3 adjustments every time. I literally, when I go out fishing, I have 1 adjustment. The only adjustment I'm really making is this long arm to, you know, keep it this way and this way. So, but that's enough on this.
Now, I do want to point out one more thing.
One more.
After I saw how much he loved this mount, I didn't really want to do the double mount on it, but I actually ordered the single arm.
Oh yeah.
They make a mount with a single head.
Just
so that
one graph.
So that if I'm going to a smaller graph and I'm crappie fishing out of my PWR, I can put the mount on there and I can extend it back to the seat. So now, kind of along the lines of that midget versus giant thing, I can have a 7-inch graph up close to me that's going to kind of act like a 12-inch graph. So for that boat and for crappie fishing, I can have a separate set of waypoints and all that kind of stuff just for that type of fishing. So I ordered this mount
same
in
configuration,
a single arm. And
maybe somebody is out there and they only have 1 graph.
Yep.
You do a lot of damage at 112 on this boat.
But it just actually makes your graph bigger by moving it closer back to the cockpit.
It's functional easier. All right, that's it. Thanks, Millennium, for showing up to the show, but we're moving on. So we got one more adjustment down here to lock this. You can lock that from spinning. So we're gonna lock that from spinning because we're gonna get into the hatch now. And I can do this with this graph this way or this way. This is what I love about it. So we got 2 Yak Attack track packs up here. I'm just gonna run through you what's in them. We've got the minnow box. I've got a couple different profile sizes, weights, different heads tied up, a tail spinner, and then underneath it I just have, you know, a bunch of different jig heads for different presentations and different conditions.
Now, do they make this lure right here in men's?
Oh, that is the men's.
Do they make that in men's?
That's the men's who like to catch fish right there, is that pink.
Oh, dude, you're gonna kill me.
Do y'all buy into the whole pink thing? Y'all get down in the comment section. It's been a pretty big craze this year, is like pink being this.
That's not even see pink.
Yeah.
Just so you know, they don't.
They see it as
fishermen first.
They see it as a white.
It's
a white to them. It's
hey,
like chartreuse.
I just realized I haven't been recording for like the last 15 minutes.
Seriously?
No, I'm just kidding.
Golly.
Did y'all see that? Seriously? Seriously?
So check those out. These are the Yak Attack track pack dividers. They've got a couple different, you know, configurations. This is the 5x1. They got a 4x2. But y'all just get on Yak Attack's website, check it out, and see which one fits you the best, because they got a couple different configurations. This actually comes with 2, and you can stack them. You can fit 2 of these 5x1 dividers, but I decided to go with 1, and then the bottom be the jig heads in their packages, so I can remember the weights and sizes. And this other one is just a bunch of soft plastics. We got some Shindos, got some strobe minnows, got some. This is my minnow box, and that's a little dang. That stood right there. That stood there from. That is a 6-cent Pecos spinner, underspin, little crappie bait. I was trying to get some sockeye.
Looks like the throwback old Roadrunner right yonder.
Yeah, some little sockeye baits. I'm actually going to throw this. That was actually supposed to, I'm surprised that rode there from the last trip. Throw that in there and wait. Ready to get underneath?
Yeah, what's underneath
See what's under the hood on this bad baby? Like I said, I'm locked this down so when I pick this up, the graphs don't slam.
That's actually one of the other big comments is, oh, because you got all that crap on there, you can't even get under the hood.
I don't even have to.
You can't even take advantage of what Bonafide did that deck for.
So like, even with this in front of me, I'll lock this down for a second. Like, I don't have to move it to the side. I was just doing it because we were doing it in the video. I can just pick this up and get into what I want. But we're gonna slide this back real quick and see most of the, you're not gonna go past this angle. You could. I've got the Bubba scale and this little cup caddy, or not caddy, the hatch caddy is what I call it, which you got to dip. You can hang your lures. I like to hang my Bubba scale in the little cup holder, and the lures still stay in there and the scale stays in there. But in here, inside this hatch, in the power link plate in here, we got a USB port for the front camera, or if I'm night fishing, need to put a headlight on charge, whatever miscellaneous thing you need to charge your phone. I have a USB port in there, and I have a Yak Attack through hole for all the wires. Now, I didn't even put the little inserts in there because this hatch is water, you know, watertight, or it's, you know, it's outside the element. So I just kept this so that the wires can be, you know, freely moving, and then go back to, we're always changing some stuff out.
Turn that USB on so they can kind of see the fact that you work with your little deal.
Yeah, so I got that one USB on one relay. This thing actually has a separate power switch on it too, so that's kind of cool. But didn't have to put the inserts in there because we're always changing things out. We've got the extra cable right here that is tied up here with the P-clamp that I just screwed to the hatch with just a little, like, 1/2-inch screw, maybe a little bit shorter, for some extra slack, because like I said, we are kayak fishermen in a bass boat world. What is that? It's just an extra jig head. That's just something cool that I have figured out about this thing, is you can stuff stuff in there and it doesn't go, go nowhere. But in here we got the fun box, or the frog box. Love that thing.
That is not what my generation refers to as the fun.
Oh, yeah, that's true. We'll just call it with the frog box then. Then we got the dude wipes, right? In case that gas station biscuit hits you a little bit earlier than you want it to. We got the best flavor right here with the Shea Butter Smooth.
Bro, it's not flavor.
Undefeated, undisputed
it is not
champion.
Flavor. You're not tasting these things.
Oh, well, that is a good point.
It's a scent.
Scent. I like to go with flavor. They do have a new flavor.
The booty flavor.
During the fall months, they had that pumpkin spice. Hey, call me a basic white girl. I love me some pumpkin spice.
You're crazy.
I love it. And they got a new one coming too called Dingleberry. What is that going to be? Is that going to be?
Are you going to go smell your butt to tell the?
Yeah.
Are you wiping your face
That's
with
a good
pumpkin
flavor.
spice?
Yeah, it's a good flavor. You know, you might need a nice little reset throughout a hot summer day. Anyway, that's the dude wipes. We got some tackle boxes in here just for reference. This is the Plano 3700 thins. I've got 3 of them right here in the middle, and then I've got 2 of the 3600. You want to get a close-up of that length and whatever. I don't know what size. I think that's just the standard width. I got some for chatterbaits. That's a chatterbait box and a jig box. And then right here we have, oh, this is a pretty cool thing. Let's talk about this. This is another reason the Power Pole Move is amazing, is they give you, you know, after you buy it from them for the price that they have, you get 2 remotes with 1 purchase. So you have a backup remote at all times, and there's no battery in this thing. It's wirelessly charged.
There's a battery. There's no removable battery.
No removable battery. It's not a USB port. It's like, you know, the MagSafe on your phone for Bluetooth charging. So I really love this thing. The fact that you get 2, you can mount that somewhere if you want. You can buy, actually, I'll show it right here. You can buy a USB-C adapter, wire that plug in if you don't want to mount it in your boat and you just want to say, hey, I want to charge them both at home, because the battery life on these things, oh God, what was that? The battery life on these things are, I mean, I've done 15 fishing trips and it doesn't get off green. Oh, as you can see right here, every time I hit that button, I don't know, can you see it with the, you see every time you hit it, it'll come a color. So it'll go green, yellow, red, and then once it's on yellow,
Mine
red.
turned yellow after about, literally like 6 weeks.
Yeah, so the battery life on these is amazing, but what I was saying with the chargers, you can buy a pigtail and then make it so you can plug it into a USB-C port or a USB.
That's kind of smart. You mounted yours in the boat.
I mounted it in there.
I got mine in the back seat
Yep.
of my truck,
so
connected to a charging port.
Yeah, like we were
But
just
it's way
talking about.
smarter to have the so much in your kayak in case you lose it.
So I got 2 at all times, so that way I never get stranded. So just that peace of mind while I'm out there fishing is I've got, you know, multiple remotes, and I've got the charger in mine because the XTR has this nice, you know, big deck. I was like, hey, why don't I keep it in there? And I've got that charger, you know, switched to where I just turn the switch on and it'll start charging. You can see right there. Oops, hit my rod. You can see that one's on green. It stays charged. I don't have it wired directly. I have it on a switch. That way it charges when I want it to charge and when I don't want it to charge, because it does hold its charge.
And that's through that Yak Power relay that we talked about.
Through that Yak Power relay too.
Hey, I'm going to hand you the camera real quick. I want to talk about something up here on the bow.
All right.
2 things. Because I've got the dual graph mount and I just added a second command center bar on there, what I did is I took a piece of this strap material, like the seats come with, or just 1-inch webbing.
Yeah. And
I folded it over, poked a hole in it, and then put one of these screws that go into these tie downs. I took those screws, screwed it into there, then I did another one and folded it over, and I got the right exact height.
Kind of like the short stack works.
Yeah, kind of like the short stack. So when I open it up, it just holds it right there, and my graphs don't flip over. But when I was telling you about it, you were like, dude, I saw a guy, and I like that idea even better. They actually took a damn strut from like a door,
like a gas strut.
a gas strut, and mounted it in here so that when they go to open it, just say,
it's like a car hood.
Assist. And then it also it keeps it super rigid. So a couple of things that you can do, you can use a little strap, or you can do whatever they did. I'll try to find it on social media, and we'll do a cutaway to it and link it up in the description box. So a little shout out to whoever came up with that idea. But that's a pretty smooth idea as well, is to have that little.
That's pretty much what I got up in there. Just for reference, 3700 thins, 3600 standards will fit sideways.
And while we got this open, why don't you go and tell them about this little thing?
I'll hand this back to you real quick
while we're doing this.
So with the another cool function or just the ability of the Power Pole is they have these little buttons right here. Now I do have mine on some double-sided Velcro right now because I am trying to decide, hey, where do I want to mount this thing full time? If I want to, I could screw it to the deck is these little buttons. They're just little Bluetooth. They're an extension of your remote. You can mount these things like I said, I've got it on some double-sided Velcro, so I don't have to permanently mount it yet. Just to play with, hey, can I get away with it up here in this corner, or do I need to have it out here? But the cool thing about that button is I'm going down a bank. Here's the function of it. It's not just to, you know, try to sell you on another power pole product. Is I'm going down a bank. Most of the time the wind's blowing into your face when you're going down a bank, because that's the best way to position your boat. And I hook a fish. Everybody knows there is a tremendous risk. I'll stand back up if you got me.
No, you're good. There's too backlit up there. Anyway.
There's a tremendous risk of when you hook a fish, especially a big fish, especially a fish that's running at you, to take the time off of the reel to stay on that fish, to go down, to turn your motor off because you had set that motor just to go at a steady pace because you're covering some water trying to find, you know, some fish. So I'm able to hook a fish and then just tap that. You can hit lively, watch out. Watch out. Don't want to get cut up. So I'm able to, you know.
Hey, come over here. All right, go ahead.
I'm able to go down the bank, and then hands-free, I can tell that motor to say, hey, spot lock. And so if I got the wind, if I got the, yes, I know. I hear you.
What? Who are you talking to?
She wanted to go.
Who are you talking to?
Anyway, so I'm able to, you know, turn that motor off or spot lock myself. So if I got the wind blowing in me, I can say, hey, let me tap that. It's going to turn the motor and spot lock me. Or if I'm in an instance where I want that wind to push me back because I don't want to, you know, make all that noise closer to where I think there's a lot of fish, I can hit it twice. And as you can see right up there, you want to point it back up there? So as you can see, if I hit it once, it turns it off, and then I can, or hit it double time and it'll just turn it off. And I can do it real quick. Look right here at this foot. I can just go 1, 2, and it'll just turn it off. They got a new button coming out. I'll let y'all know on a little insight. Got a reverse button coming too. So that's also going to be cool. So I'm going to have.
By the way, I just got the shipping notification they just got here.
Boom. So you're going to have a reverse button. They have a vector mode, which really, I don't think it really applies to us kayak fishermen because we have that in this remote. And it's not something you touch a lot or need to touch when fighting a fish. So you got that anchor mode. Like I said, you can stop your boat. And then that reverse button is going to be real nice, buddy.
One thing I'll tell you guys is I didn't know this about this move until I was out using it. But what I hated about a lot of other bow mounts over the years is that if you wanted to go backwards, you had to turn the head all the way around backwards and try to drive yourself backwards. With this one, when you hit reverse, it just spins the other way and backs you up without the motor head having to turn. And then you could go back to spot lock.
Right here in the remote.
It's just a reverse.
Keeps the head in the same spot.
So badass.
So you're going to have that same function in the button, or a button that's coming very soon. It's going to be nice to be able to, you hook a fish and you just want to say, hey, I need to keep that pressure on that fish, so let me just back up. And you can set the speed of how fast or how slow you back up. So that's going to be pretty cool. Another feature about the power pole that's absolutely amazing is those buttons. One more is just for extra peace of mind. Let's just say some way, somehow you have decided or managed to not charge both remotes. You got 2 remotes that went bad. Check this out. Get on the power pole app, and once you may have to connect to it, it's very easy to connect. Look, you just boom, connect, be sure it's in focus.
Hit the word connect.
Hit the word connect, and you go down right here to control. I can actually control this motor with my phone, and look how real time this is. You want to get the right angle maybe? I'll put the phone right here. Come in like this way. Watch this.
Why don't you just get out and put it right by it?
Okay.
Oh, it's like real to me.
Yeah, so.
Anyway, I think they believe it. But,
I just want people to see it for the haters. Is as you can see, look, I'm turning left. Let me turn right. Let me.
Oh, wait, I was not filming the screen.
Let me bump the speed up. You can see how real time that is. Hit the spot lock. Boom. You can jog with the spot lock. Let's say hit the power poles down in the back. You can do the vector mode. You get full functionality out of. So just for peace of mind, and one more cool thing about this trolling motor is you so happen to run out of both of your remotes. You got one more that's built in your phone, and everybody has this on them at all times. So that's pretty much it for, you know, the cockpit up. We'll set the phone right here. Actually, we'll just talk about right here.
Let's just talk about this side.
Yeah.
And then we'll go back and pick up with, you're going to have to get back in and show
I'm going to have to get back in.
How to take a photo.
Yeah. So we got right here is, I'll just move these so they can actually see it for those that don't know. That is from a good buddy of ours named Greg Massa. He owns a business called 3D Yak Designs. And this is just a little 2-slot rod holder that utilizes those same little mounts like this. But he's got it to where you know, you just tighten it up, and then you got these two little slots. I do have the Kayak Rod Stage Pro, or Side Stage Pro on that side. We'll talk about here in a little bit. But the thing with Side Stages is it's got a wide footprint. The cool thing about this is I can take one reel, drop it down in there. I can actually set the reel handle on this little rise up here. It'll keep that rod. I can either take this one, set it on, if I miss it, set this on top of that, keep the reel handle out of the way, or I can even go underneath and then just find that. Ooh, it's a little bit harder from the outside of the boat.
But you can also just do
there.
this. You can also just put it in the thing, and it works.
There's infinite amounts of things. It's a little bit more difficult to do from outside the boat.
So Greg is like a wizard when it comes to making this kind of stuff, but I will point out that with the Kayak Side Stage, you can also turn it into a 2-rod holder if you don't want it to be so long by just taking a hacksaw and just cut the dang thing off.
But the cool thing about that is, look, it's inside the boat's frame. I don't hit anything if I'm trying to go up on a dock or somebody wants to come up to me because we want to exchange some baits. So it's pretty cool that it's inside the boat's frame. All right, let's get into the
talk about your little caddy.
The lazy boy of seats of kayak fishing. Right here, we just got a little Millennium Cup caddy. You just mount it to the side. You got some, you probably can't even see it. There's a little bracket that comes down and you just bolt it through, but I use this cup caddy for my tools and some scents and to play some stuff. I just have some bubble tools. We got a pair of pliers and a pair of the best braid scissors that you will ever find. Right there, the little bubbles. Those are little small shears, I think. Make a couple different sizes. This is the one that fits me the best. Then I've got a line cutters. This is the one that you like. It's like a ring. You put it on like a ring, or you can wrap it around a rod butt. But I actually just took it and pushed it through there because I really love this thing for cutting tag ends, or let's say I hook somebody else's line, I hook some fisherman's line, and I got a bunch out there. Getting the scissors out is just, you can do it, but having the ability to just pull that stuff, cut it, and go on, and it's the best. Those little ceramic blades in there are absolutely amazing. And then just some scents. There's a cup holder. You can actually take this seat.
I was going to show them the keyhole on the other side.
As you can see, there's just a little cup holder. I just keep some scents in here. Got some thump gels, I like to call it, because it's got some scripture on the back. My Jesus juice on the back. And then just some dye, just for, I don't know if it actually helps fishing, but it makes me feel better, and that's all about confidence.
That's the little keyhole he's talking about. You just mount the mount through those keyholes. And then, well, shoot, since we finished that up, why don't you jump back in the boat and show them your catch photo release system, if you will.
This is how I kind of be as efficient as possible while doing catch photo release, if I am doing it, which there's hardly any times I don't do it anymore. Before I get into it, this is the Kayak phone holder. I don't remember which one it is. They have like the Pro, they have a standard, but this is everything. This isn't custom made. This is as it comes. There's a T-bolt on the back side of this, and I just went through that little T-bolt in the back, and it hits the side, and I tighten it up, and then I just set this to the angle I want. I can actually lock that down I want, but I like the ability to move it around. Now it does come with those silicone spider web looking things. I absolutely hate those things, so I upgraded and went to the next step with this thing right here. This is the Rogue. Pull that thing out. This is the Rogue Shield phone tether. It's just a little thin piece of aluminum with a little loop that you take this right here, and Kayak little thing has a little lanyard spot. So I just take that and put my phone back together, and this is how quick and easy it is. Just got to be sure you don't get that loop in there. I need to get a new screen protector. Just take that little loop, put your finger right there, and then you take this right here, lock it in. And that phone is right there. I don't like things in my pocket, so that's why I go about this way.
Well, them pants are so damn tight, I don't think you can put anything in your pocket, to be honest with
I'm in that gym getting swole. So, but this is my catch photo release process for those of you that have this boat. I catch the fish, I got the fish in my hand. Maybe I get the board out first. I can take the board, set the board up, flip the identifier out, but it's right there. So what I like to do most of the time is I will take this phone, I'll have the fish in my hand, and then since I've got the newer phone, not the newest, but the newer phone, you can actually hit this little side button and it'll pop up, photo or video, whatever the last is. I'll set that right there in my lap. That way I don't have to go all the way back here. Put the fish in there. Once I'm ready for the fish, got its tail the way I wanted, just come up, boom, boom, take a snapshot, pow, pow. And then I can hold the fish, and I can even do this without looking, like back here. That way it's out of the way. Don't even have to look. After like your first or second trip, it becomes, second nature. So that's what I do right there. The board just kind of goes under my seat. I don't have anything special with it. It stays out of the way. But that's the phone holder. And then we already talked about the side piece, right? You can mount throttles, Anchor Wizard. And then next we got right here.
Talk about your drink holder.
Okay.
Because, you know, that's kind of clever, to be honest with you.
Yeah, this is not a Yak Attack product. I made this out of a couple different Yak Attack.
It is 2 Yak Attack products.
It's 2 Yak Attack products. But it's
can't
not
buy
like
it that way is what he's
it's not a SKU. So what this is a Yak Attack cup holder. This is a lock and load base and then a 90-degree adapter. And the reason I did this is it's not just cause. It's got a reason. Like I'm very big into picking up the trash and leaving the lake better than you found it. This is some braid from some guy. I don't even know how you lose that much braid in one cast out in the middle of the lake, but neither here nor there. So what's cool about this is, like, if throughout the day, after the day's over with, I'm done fishing, I don't have to take my fingers, especially if there's hooks in here or, you know, it gets gummy, it's nasty. I don't have to take my hand in here and scoop it all out to get it out of the cup holder, or, you know, untwist the cup holder, pull it out of the track. If you ain't got a top loading track, then you got to slide it all the way out. So what this allows me to do is, hey, I'm done for the day. Just pop it off, you know, take it, dump it out, put it back. If I need to take it inside, clean it up, accidentally mix the Z-Man plastic and another soft plastic in there, I'm going to take it inside and clean it up. So it allows that. And then let me steal your thunder real quick on the last tip about it.
Sure.
Is it gets the cup up more. So like most of the time I'll have an energy drink or something back here. Is, you know, the seat is taller. I am a little bit taller, so you put a tall seat, a little bit taller. Then that cup's way down there, so just being able to like reach back here to get your cup brings it up just a little bit because of that lock and load base.
And I copied this idea from him, and I actually have a lock and load base there, but I also have a lock and load base up here on my track. So then I'm able to just literally move the drink holder kind of wherever I want it to, and it makes it where you don't have to screw it or unscrew it every single time.
You don't have to get in there and get the hooks. Ready for the back of the seat? All right, so the back of my seat is, this is the Bonafide SideLine Sling. I absolutely love this thing. It stores a lot of stuff. It utilizes a non-used space, but the things that I have in it is the best pair of split ring pliers. There's one thing about Bubba. They got the best pair of braid scissors and the best pair of split rings. These are bar none. The separation and split ring pliers is, oh my God, I cannot say enough good things. And I will say, y'all noticed by now, you know, whether it be the pliers, the scissors, hell, even my remote for my, you know, for my trolling motor, is all that is pretty much, you know, insuranced on my boat by the Rogue micro leashes. I like the ones that have this little quick release clip, because let's say, hey, I need to go inside or whatever it might be. I'm sitting beside the truck and I don't want to be by my kayak. I can unhook them, take them inside, do what I need to do.
Just leave them unhooked for a second. I'm gonna hand you the camera. I got to jump on this soapbox real quick.
Okay.
So we're not sponsored by Bubba, but I will tell you that I got to give Bubba a thank you. I actually bought these split ring pliers because I'm a big changing my hooks guy. I always keep a hook sharpener, but if I'm ever running crankbaits into rocks or something and I check my tip and it's rolled, I'm changing that hook. I carry extra hooks with me. I actually have a track pack that's got a piece of foam in it with probably 150 hooks in there, so I can change any hook. It's just, I'm anal about hook sharpening. But when I got these Bubba pliers, it was because I was at a store and it was the only ones that they had. They looked cool, good grip, but after I started using them, they got like the best little hook tip with a groove in it for grabbing a split ring out there, and then they got another little extra splitter on the other side, and then it grabs the ring in the middle, and then they got this little, like almost like a tooth patch type thing right there that makes it even better, so that when you want to roll the split ring, you can. And then on top of that, it's like the best jig eye cleaner outer buster ever. Or if you're a fly fisherman and you put epoxy in the eye, you can stick it in there and root it out. And then on top of that, the damn cutter actually works. There's a buttload of cutters, you know, out there on the market. Grab some of that braid
out of there real quick.
So there's a buttload of cutters out there on the market that people say like they don't work or whatever. But this thing right here, like here, let me just grab a couple pieces. Like this shit like actually cuts. Like I'm talking about like cuts. In addition to that, even one step further, not only does this thing cut, but it actually, up to probably like a 2/0 hook, you get a hook in you want to push it through, you can actually cut the damn end of the hook off of it because of the carbide or whatever the hell this is made out of. These things are badass. So I had these on the back of my kayak in my pouch, just like Austin did. Bubba saw it. We were at the Red Crest show, and the guy walked over and was like, hey man, really, you know, big fan, love your stuff, and I appreciate you throwing those Bubba scissors and position them for the camera. And I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? And he thought we were sponsored. I'm like, I'm not sponsored. Well, then he sent me some of the other stuff, and I've become a big fan of all of their gear. There's a lot of good braid scissors out there, right? There's a lot of good other things out there where a lot of tools are utility. But when it comes to split ring pliers, if you want to test the Bubba product line, they got the best split ring pliers on the market, bar none. And so again, we're not sponsored by Bubba. They have sent us some gear since they saw their products in our videos. But again, we're not sponsored by them. Don't use the stuff that we don't like. Do use the stuff that we do like. And that's just kind of how it is. But Bubba, I mean, if you want to do a sponsorship or some stuff, I'm just saying, got that male model thing going on right now, and you know, anyway. So give me the camera back and let's keep going with this. Back to your regularly scheduled program.
Yeah, so, but everything. One thing about Bubba is they do have a little bit of a price tag on them because quality products have to have a quality price. So be sure you have some kind of tether to your boat. That way you don't lose it, because dropping it would be very.
So if there is a rub on their stuff, it's that their leashes are a little cheaper. That's why we go to the Rogue. We love Rogue stuff, but Bubba's, you know, leave a little bit to be desired. So I would definitely recommend upgrading Bubba.
Yep.
Get with Rogue and just make your leashes better.
Yeah. So other side of this is another Bubba product.
Oh yeah.
This is a fish gripper. For me mainly because of where I live, you know, geographically, it's if I catch a couple fish, or if I catch one fish and I want to take the time to, you know, get my board positioned properly, whatever it might be. Something happened, I caught two fish at one time. Got to get out of a channel. I can, you know, clip one fish, and this thing's not opening unless you want it to open. I can take it, put that fish in the water. The weight of the fish will, you know, stretch that out and keep it in the water. But if you live up north or live somewhere where there's pike and muskies, or
don't use that on a muskie. People, you'll get beat up by the muskie people.
You get what I'm saying.
Yeah,
you get a trout. If you're a saltwater fisherman, you have a toothy critter. You can use that for that. I love this little one finger trigger.
So question, I haven't used that yet.
Okay.
Because you stole it when they sent it, but what are you thinking of that thing so far?
I absolutely love it. They make one that's got a scale in it, but we didn't get the ones with the scale. I like the very simple, very nice, this thing, you know, all of Bubba's grip stuff is I think that's kind of how they got their name. It's kind of what they brand on. So you get that Bubba grip and it's good stuff. It won't open, you know, it won't open unless you want it to open. There's no way a bass is pulling that trigger. So you can, you know, have peace of mind while you got that fish down there.
So they can't be hooked in the mouth and ninja slap it with their tail?
I mean, maybe on me because I got that kind of luck, but everybody else in the world, no. And
all right.
All I do.
Coming on back.
You want to see right here? All I do is I'll take it, slide it right here, and it kind of just stays out of the way and is at the ready. All right, let's just look at kind of the things that I have in the SideLine bag. Is I got my remote for the Guardian Angel lights, which they're inside on charge, but we'll grab them and show you here in a second. And then we got some fishing gloves, just some extra swim bait hooks. Got some chapstick because it is that time of year. Got one of these little tools. Those of y'all that have Yakatech products, the next time you go to buy a Yakatech product, be sure to add this to your little cart. Sometimes they add it to where, you know, you spend so much they give you one free, but it's just a little tool for your
here, I'll show them.
You got them?
So pretty much anything that's got a lock and load base.
So
it's got a head.
You got a head.
It also works for your vertical tie downs like that. It works for your knobs. It pretty much works for everything Yakatech.
So be sure to pick one of them up if you don't already have one. We already talked about those. Then I just got some extra scents and right here, hook sharpener, extra chapstick because I'm that guy. Got a hook sharpener here because I believe everybody should have a hook sharpener in their boat at all times. And then there's some of this fancy little lead wire stuff for those of you that like to weight your baits, your glide baits, your wake baits.
Now, is that actually lead, or is that the lead-free lead?
That's that lead-free stuff that the fancy wire or fly shops that will give you. So got a bunch of them. And then, oh, you got them right there. Yeah, that's a suspending bait. This time of year I kind of take my baits and I say, hey, I don't want you to suspend, I want you to have a slow sink to them. And then back here, just got some spools of fluoro and mono. I got 10, 12, 15, 18, 25, and then some 20-pound mono for your topwater stuff. So
I'm gonna do a little tip real quick.
All right.
He actually mentioned, I'm gonna get this little booger off your thing right there, but he actually mentioned that he likes it to slow sink when it says suspend. I'll give you some advice. When you're looking at a lure package and it says that a bait suspends, most lure companies make a lure suspend at 70 degrees. Okay, 70-degree water temperature. As your water temperature goes down, colder water is denser. So what'll happen is even to get a bait to suspend that is supposed to suspend at 70 degrees, you got to add a little weight, because as that water gets a little denser and it's thicker, it, for lack of a better way of putting it, it'll make that bait rise faster. So if you want your bait to suspend, you need to add a little weight, and if you want it to sink, you got to add a little bit more weight.
Depending on time of year.
That's just a little tip that most people don't realize, is that those things are designed to suspend at 70 degrees, and most of the time we're fishing them colder than 70 degrees.
Like your jerk baits. It's real big in jerk baits to, you know, play with your weights different. The same weighted jerk bait in the summer is not the same one you want to throw in the winter because of water temperature and science and how chemicals work. But that's pretty much what's all in here. Got a little bit of extra, little extra scent that I like to throw on my jigs and stuff. And then there's really nothing in here but a little underspin hook. So that's pretty much everything that's in the on the seat, and then where you know.
Well, let's go ahead and talk about your little behind your seat configuration while you're there.
We got the net, obviously. Got to have a Yak Attack leverage landing net. This is the older one. The new ones are coming pretty soon. And then right here.
I mean, don't just skip over how you store it. And not...
Oh, shoot, my bad.
Come on, man.
We got, I went ahead and I put, you could go 1 8-inch extension if you want, but this is the Yak Attack AR rod tube. And I went with this one over the Zuka tube because it's got this little slot in here for your spinning reels and stuff. And you got this little support, or this brace. I can actually take this brace, take this net, slide it into that base, and it won't twist because it's locked into that thing. And the AR comes on this, just the, I guess it depends on which one you buy, because they sell them with the extension or not. It usually just comes with one of these arms, these 4-inch arms, and then it goes directly to this. Or you
That's only the Pro.
Yeah. So
the base comes with just the base, and then the Pro comes with one 4-inch extension.
I added a 4-inch extension just because I wanted that net up a little bit higher. You could go to 1 8-inch extension to achieve the same thing, but I wanted to be able to, you know, I can take one back, bring this one back, and it can fit in a hole. I can make it.
You can kind of see that from here, how you went up and then over.
Yeah, and that way I can just fit it into a hole a little bit better. Gives you a little bit more customizability and riggability. But that's pretty much it on the seat. And then behind the seat, I'm deemed snack boy, and yeah, I like to eat and I like to drink. So we've got a 46-ounce Yeti jug that's got a bunch of water in it right now. And then this is where I keep my snacks. It's just a Yeti lunchbox. And then I like to throw, I don't think there's anything in here right now because usually I don't make it a fishing trip without cleaning it. But as you can see right here, just some Yeti ice. One of these will, you know, like an oatmeal cream pie or a snack bar, one of these in this thing will make an oatmeal cream pie hardened. So not really a big thing in the winter months, but in the summer months, you know, when things are hot and you want to have a snack bar, one of those Nature Valley peanut bars, it doesn't melt it, so this thing keeps it nice and cool and insulated.
Why'd you have to say oatmeal cream pie twice? You didn't just say it once.
You just said it again,
circle
so that's
back
3
around
times
on it. Damn,
they're pretty good.
Saying that around a fat kid?
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Hey, I love me. We might have to go get one after. It is getting nice and cool.
It is
like an oatmeal cream pie and a coffee. Just, yeah, we're gonna have to do that. We're gonna hit that up for sure. But what's cool about it, it's got these little handles on it, and I can drop it down right in here, and it fits perfectly. And then the water jug right there. And then when it's time, it's there. When it's not, it's hidden.
I'm gonna move this out the way so you can talk about your BlackPak configuration.
Okay. Yeah, so we got a 6.
A lot of people comment, how do you got your BlackPak on top of that battery tray that,
Yeah, so those of you that know the XTR, it's got that battery tray where it's got that offset in it. Those of you that don't, I'll put a little
ridge right there.
Yeah, I'll put a little screen over it just to kind of show somebody, is it's got that offset in it in the way that I've got a battery, the biggest battery that I have in the back, so it kind of helps with that a lot. So pay attention to that if you are, using this as a battery box, as you'll see here in a second. Put your heaviest battery in the back, that way leverage, you know how balancing works. But I've got a extra rod too, got some sunflower seeds in here too, because bro, this might be my new favorite flavor of sunflower seed. But that's also because I'm half Mexican, so my half Mexican gene might just be, But anyways, y'all use sunflower seeds while you're out?
Do you think you're half? Because I was 225 pounds when I met your mom. She was about 100 pounds, so it might be like 75-25.
Can't hear. La, 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 la. So anyway, I've got my, the way that I support the BlackPak is what I'm trying to get to, is I just took an extra tether tube and I put it in the center, and it just holds that end up. You just position it on your grid lock where you want. What's cool about that is it actually adds an extra rod slot, need be. So not only does it support the BlackPak, I can take an extra rod if I want, as if I don't have enough rod holding storage places. Chad actually He does the, I think he's got 2 left and right for extra support on his.
I'll be honest with you, bro. The happy accident that you did was that your catch board slides right under it. So I've got 2 on mine just because I wanted it to be more stable. But it looks like yours is plenty stable.
Yeah, what happens?
Damn, I'm shaking the boat with it.
Yeah, what happens is those teeth grab into that thing and they don't go anywhere. So
yeah, I might just switch to that.
You can see right here. Can they see that?
Yeah, yeah.
I can take my catch board and slide it in that way.
It makes it perfect.
That way it's not hitting my heels or whatever. Slides in there.
Look at the big brain on that one.
And then I can, you know, put your lunch and everything on that side. So that's pretty much it.
I've got 2 on the front, but I cut a short one off and actually use it for lip grippers, my net, and some other stuff too. So you can make use of that dead space with
however you want.
However you want.
Some people put the little foot spacers in there, but I like the catch board underneath. Time to get into this bad baby right here.
Yeah, let's do it.
I think I could do it from here.
Let's do the top down.
Top down? Yeah. All right, so we got a 16 by 16. Probably already said that again, so sorry if I'm repeating myself. Got a 16 by 16 BlackPak with a 16 by 16 short stack. And then on top of that, we have got 2 track pack plates. This is kind of rigged at the absolute max if I'm going somewhere, you know, as you can see right here. That's rigged to the absolute max if I don't know where I'm going or I don't know what the fish are doing. I'm somewhere new.
Kind of like right now.
Kind of like right now. Is I have the ability to have a bunch of stuff with me at the time to just be able to cycle through things quick. You can see I got the 2 mounted right there, right in the middle of that Made in the USA logo, because a lot of Yakutek products are. So we got that right there, and then these clip in pretty nice and easy. And then we'll just kind of run you through just to give you an idea. We got one that's a Cinco flute. We got one that is creature baits, you know, like crawl baits, jig trailers, stuff like that. And then this one right here is, oh, you're gonna love this one. This is the Dice and the Nico rig box. Got a bunch of different weights, some spring locks for those dice baits to make them last longer. Got some hooks, got a bunch of different things in there. So that's what's in that one. And then this one's pretty cool. Oh, I almost missed it, bro. Underneath this seat right here too, we have perfect timing. Some things happen because they're supposed to. So under my seat right here, it's actually out of the way. So if it's time to, you know, get that bait or get something new or get extra, these 2 things right here, I have absolutely fell in love with. These are 2 new products from Yakutek. We have the HD bait binder. This one is the 12 by 12. They have a 14 by 12. They have a little bit longer one. This one's the 12 by 12. And then this is the HD bait binder. I'll just show you this one real quick and then we'll get into that one. I love this thing because I can just fit it under my seat and have a bunch of different things in it. This one's got some 4 pockets right here. I got some spinner baits tied into this one, some brand new chatterbaits still waiting in their package, ready to get used. And then it's got these, it comes with 5, I think it comes with 5 of these, but I took 2 of them out and got them inside just waiting for whenever. And I could put my clamshell baits, got some panoramas in here, got the flushes with some different colors, and then like your bigger worm stuff, bigger that doesn't really fit in those track packs. I can put in here and divide that stuff up. So like I can actually have, you know, extras of these and say, hey, it's that time of year, I need to pull the worms out, which I don't think there's any time of the year you can't fish a worm. But you get what I'm saying. If it's time of year where you got a certain bait in here, you want to take it out, you can do that. And then I just throw some extra, you know, clam style baits, your big stuff, in behind it. And then you get 4 more of these, what are those called? Little pouches?
Dividers, yeah.
Little dividers. So love this thing. And then it's super easy to...
Basically what you're telling people is you got so much crap in your boat.
I got a mini Bass Pro.
You forget about stuff that's in your boat.
Yep. So mini Bass Pro Shop floating. Thanks to that high weight capacity that Bonafide has blessed us with in the kayak fishing industry. So that stays under the seat, but...
Wait, this is a kayak?
It's a kayak. That's what it identifies as.
Okay.
Might have just triggered somebody.
It's a fishing kayak? It's a fishing kayak. We'll call it a fishing kayak.
It's a kayak that identifies as a fishing kayak. But like back there in that track pack, these will fit. These are the 8x5, I'm pretty sure. Little tackle block, what is it called? Tackle
binder?
No, this one's called something else. Tackle box, tackle binder, HD tackle binder, tackle block. I don't know. Y'all see it. Y'all see it on the screen in a second. But I love this thing. It's got those same little dividers in it. Just on one side, just so you know, just on one side. But I actually use this thing as kind of 3-in-1 package. This is my punching drop shot. So like right here, we got punching weights by size up here in the top. Then I've got my drop shot stuff with the quick snaps, different size hooks.
It's kind of more of your specialty rigs.
Specialty rigs. You got your bump stops and your line stops in here. Then you got your punching hooks. Then I got my big swim bait hooks for the screw lock hooks, or the screw locks for some big toads. Got my Carolina rigs for, you know, the swivels, the beads, the glass, the snappers, and then some underspins and some spare.
Grab that track pack real quick. I'm going to fall on the sword and share a dumbassery that I did when I first got mine. When I say first got them, I mean like, just zip that back up and put it back in there.
Zip that up. So like I said, it's pretty cool to be able to put a couple different techniques in one box and take it with you. When
I first got these, I'll just tell you, I actually took I could not figure out, like, I don't need to hand hold that. I didn't like, and again, I'm usually pretty intuitive. I cut this thing off of the first one that I got, and I called Wade and said, I don't know what the hell that little strap is for, but I cut it off. He's like, dude, it's so that when you have it in your track pack, you can, I was like, get the hell out of here.
So it's pretty cool to have, you know, you can buy 2 or 3 of these and have them set up. That's the thing about it. I can say, so I can set these things up for different times of the year, so I don't have
modular.
It's modular. I don't have to reorganize 15 different things. I just take the one for that specific trip. So that's pretty much it back here. You want to come back around?
Yes, sir.
There's nothing really.
All them damn rods still that I keep seeing.
Yeah, there's nothing really in these things special. And then on top of the 16 by 16, that's a new bait. By the way, that thing is amazing.
Who makes that?
That's the 6 Cents option.
Dude, are you sponsored by 6 Cents?
I freaking wish. I absolutely. Yeah, y'all.
I'm
sitting here going through my.
Send 6 Cents a special message.
Hit your boy up,
Lord,
please.
dude.
Yeah, I'm sitting here and y'all just saw that tackle bomb. I just believe in good products, and I support companies that I like. I like the people that are there, and they make some good products. But we got a Yak Attack short stack up here on top. We got a little mesh bag that you can throw whatever you want in it. This thing is actually pretty cool. Those of you that don't know, it's 2 layers. So you got a layer back here and a layer up here in the front. You put whatever you want right here. I just got some more swim bait hooks, and then some stinger hooks for spoons that I just keep in there just for
in case you run out of all the other places.
Yeah, it's just miscellaneous stuff.
Like this bag with hooks, or that box with hooks, or that under there with hooks.
Right here,
or,
come here, right here. Rather have it and not need it than need it and not have it. So, but up here, this is the short stack, and I want to show you something pretty cool. You can move this couple rods. So most of the time it's not this messy, but I just threw these baits in there the other day. I was like, hey, you know what? That might be the pattern to go with, so let me grab them out of my box. But in this short stack, I've got a pretty cool.
He's lying. It's always that messy. Just don't believe the hype. It's always that messy. Anyway, go ahead.
So pretty much what I store in my short stack is my bigger clamshells and my bigger baits, my big swim baits. But I want to show you something pretty cool. That's just some more clamshell soft plastics. But you can see like a 7.5 flush is not going to fit in many tackle boxes. So it's pretty cool to, you know, keep them in their case so they stay nice and, you know, keep the form. And I can got a couple different colors. But I'll show you something pretty cool. Another thing I throw in there is, you know, your big glide baits and your big, I don't even know what style the pumps are called. They're just big jerk baits, as I like to call them. So I keep those cases in there. But look at these little dividers right here. This is a new product coming from Greg.
It's available.
It's available now?
Yeah.
Okay, so the same people that, or the same guy, it's only just him, that make that rod stager on this side of the boat, he makes this. And what's funny about this is I had texted Greg and I said, hey Greg, I need something that I can put in my track pack. That way it's a divider. That way when I put something in and I pull something out, it doesn't just all blend together. And he said, I got you. And honestly, in my head, I had expected him to just come up with one thing that just went from here to here to here to here, or make it to where it's like 4. And he showed up and I was like, what in the hell is that? And he said, go get a track pack. So he made these little things, right? This just use 4 screws of the grid lock. And let me actually move this out of the way. You can see them right there. They're just little things, and what's cool about that is I can take this thing, because I don't need this thing to go all the way across, because look at this package. No matter where this package slides to, it can't get out of its tray or its slot. So it's pretty cool that he made this, because I could take it and say, hey, let me box a corner off for my smaller bags. Those of you that just want to, I see a lot of guys that throw a lot of soft plastics.
Get rid of this for you right here.
Oh, yeah. Little tacks are filming.
Take that.
It's a good bait. Anyway, so really love those. These are the track pack dividers. They can fit the 13 by 16, 13 by 13, 16 by 16, and you can buy as many or as little as you want to make it fit how you want to fish. I like to take, you know, these big swim baits like this that are in their clamshell, keep them in their clamshell so they keep their shape. You can take them, put them at a little bit of a 45. Then I got the little brother. That's the Whale 6.0. This is the Whale 5.0 or 4.0. Put that at a 45.
That's not a 45, bro. It's like a 12.
What?
It's not quite a 45.
45 what?
Like half a 90 degrees.
No, 4.5 swim bait.
Oh, I thought you meant a 45-degree angle.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Then you could take 2 or 3, like just for reference, that's 3 Spro KGBs. You can fit them in there, and then I can take this, put them right here. They fit in there. You just make it however it fits your style of fishing the best. And that's what I love about Yak Attack is it's kind of, somebody should make it their branding, say make it yours. Somebody should do that.
You should do it.
But inside the 16x16, you want to leave those rods right there for a second?
Okay.
Or get them off of me?
I'm trying to disconnect them.
Yeah, so right here, inside, you ready to open the, here is where the brains of everything is.
This is the heart. The brains are up there.
You're right.
This is the heart.
This is the heart of the build. This is what allows everything to move by me just pushing a button and looking at buttons and looking at screens. I have my 16x16 with a Dakota Lithium 36 volt 60 for the trolling motor, which is plenty for multiple days of fishing. I have done 18 miles in a day and still had like 30% battery left. So 36 amp, 60 amp, or 36 volt 60 amp is plenty of time. Then I have a 12 volt 135 for...
Hold up. You did 18 miles in this big son bitch and still had... Okay.
Still had about 30% left, 20%, so 25 or 28 I think if I remember correctly. What is she chewing on? A piece of wood? Hey, what you doing?
She's about to lick the screen. Hey, what you doing? What are you doing?
Anyway, so that's what we got in here, and I'm gonna hop down real quick and I'll kind of come back around. Well, actually, I'll talk about it first. So we got 2 C-Clear power harnesses in. This is the trolling motor side. This is the graph side. So something you'll want to take note of right here is if you're going to put it, try to not let your wires cross from each graph. Kind of can get some interference sometimes, not every time, but take the time and, you know, put one on one side and one on the other if you can. And then I just have the charging whips. This thing would look even more cleaner if I didn't have these charging whips on here. But I got the whips for each battery to charge. You could put a multiple bank charger in this, but I don't really like to do that because I feel like you're so vested. If that one charger goes bad, you're kind of screwed. You really can't charge anything. So I kind of want to charge each battery individual, not only because these are 2 different voltages, but you understand what I'm saying. Got 2 selector switches, that way I can completely kill power. Like you hear the trolling motor probably shut off, so I can, that's it. There's no power leaving this box at all. And then right here we've got a little smart shunt. So these batteries do not have Bluetooth built into them. So I added this little what was this called? Auxiliary device. It's very easy to install. You just add a black whip to it and then leave. You know.
What's that do?
That right there will allow me to, you know, look at my battery voltage and everything. Actually, I'll show you this. You can see everything. There's a breaker, fuses, and then I put some foam on each side to keep the batteries from rolling around. But actually, we'll show you. We'll take the time because. So what you can see right here is that little thing has a Bluetooth capability. It's called the Victron Connect. You just heard the trolling motor turn on. And once it's ready, it's reading its voltage. I'll actually show you this real quick. So I'll click on this. It'll load its information up. And where's the dog? Okay, don't want to chop her up. Do not feel like going to the hospital today. So this is how much battery I have left.
Wait, you're talking about hospital. Oh, you're talking about the prop.
No, if it cut her.
She got hooked, like you hooked her like a month ago.
Yeah.
Your boy got you, you know?
Yeah, yeah. So it'll tell me the voltage, current amp draw, it's current.
Hold up. You can do the current draw on this thing?
So
well, we get that question all the time. So instead of the manufacturer stuff, we can show them.
Yeah, so it's pretty much like you can see when I turn the motor, obviously that motor has to use a little bit of electrical to turn the motor, but watch this. There's not a lot of resistance in the water, so it's not going to get as high as it's supposed to, but it'll be real time. You can see right here current, and it's in the negative because it's just how it works. It just reads it like that. And then draw, and then when I'm gonna add it power, you can see obviously that would be a way higher number if it had if it had it in the water, but you can see as you're probably hearing it. You can see it's real time, so it'll tell me.
Hey, get over here.
It'll tell me what I'm drawing and lets me know how much % of battery I have, so I can say, yeah, I can make that run, or no, I cannot make that run, or I might want to call a buddy and start heading this way because
Hey, can we do the same thing with the graphs where we can do the
if I run
graph?
off the graph power, I could rewire everything and it'll tell me, hey, when I turn those on, so yes, you could. So you could wire one to your graphs or to your graph battery if you want, but with the 12 volt 135, it is.
So you guys comment below, would you be interested in seeing like real world on the water conditions of this app showing us like what the current draw
of everything,
voltage and everything is of even the graphs there?
Yeah,
So
let me hop up here.
And the way he got that set up is he just came around through the back with 2 of the Yak Attack Gridlock the XL pass-throughs, and come out of the logo cover, the Bonafide logo cover, into the back of the Yak Attack.
Yeah. And then just going to note it again
BlackPak.
because repetition is key in getting in somebody's brain. If you're going to run 2 harnesses off the back, run one down one side of the boat, one run down the other, and that's not only going to keep from interference, that's going to help keep the distribution of the weight. You know, your weight, you don't put all the wire on one side and you get out there and you're like, oh crap, that's not good. So just keep that in mind while you're wiring your boat. You want to go around real quick, talk about the rod stagers before we get back here into the...
Now we're here, let's just go ahead and talk about the booty part.
So
and then we'll do the rod things
on the big fat booty
into the why you got so many rods
Oh,
part.
that's perfect. I like what you did there. Back here we got 2 power pole micros, and then I went with the power pole micro battery packs. This just allows me so I don't have to run the wire. Now I could, since I do have that the reason I have the 12 volt 135 for the electronics, it is a little bit of overkill for 2 graphs and active target, but it's also, like I said again, sometimes we're out 12, 14, 16 hours a day, so I do need that all day power. And I could, if I really wanted to, run those power cables through here into that battery. But I've got the micros with the power packs. That way it's just, you know, wireless, and I'll just recharge these things. We've got them mounted to the XTR stern plates. There is a left and a right. They're not universal. So pay attention to that when you order it, that you get the left or the right, because they're all cut out differently.
And they marked them for people from Alabama.
Yeah. Or Tennessee. Anyway, Ohio. Mainly the Ohio people is what they really did it for. Right here we got the Lowrance 0.1. That's just so your graph's not doing a disco dance. And then I will tell you about this real quick. That is not the stock paddle holder. That is another Yak Attack product. I don't know exactly what they call it. I'm just going to call it the paddle holder with the bungee thingy. And what that allows me to do is I can drive this way. Is I can put that paddle in there and take this bungee and put it back there. Now I will say, before we go any further, if you are somebody who fishes in a high traffic area, or you're somebody who fishes in maybe a not controlled environment, don't store your paddle back there like I have it. I pay attention to where I'm going, how I'm going, where I'm going, and if I feel like I'm in a spot to where I may end up in a sticky situation, I will take this paddle and I will assemble it. Dang, this cold weather is getting on me quick. I'll take this paddle. Let's put these rods. I got it. Take these paddles and I will assemble it. And if that means I got to take one less rod in a day, then guess what? That means my safety is worth one less rod. So what I will do is I will actually...
You can make the sacrifice of carrying one less rod.
I can be a peasant and only take 12 rods instead of 13. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, I'll take this paddle, and this paddle will be at the ready. So if you're somewhere where you feel like I'm just going to give an instance, like Florida, right? Florida's got a lot of canals, which you shouldn't be sitting on a canal channel bend anyways, so that's on somebody else. But if you are in a spot to where you can say, hey, oh, my trolling motor stopped working, I need to get out the way because I hear a boat coming, that paddle is there to get you out of the way, so that way you don't get run over. But, I mean, it's pretty much it. So a lot of people don't know this, but the Yak Attack side stage actually will hold a paddle, and it'll fit those things. So it's like I said, once again, if you're in a spot high traffic to where, you know, heaven forbid something does happen to your trolling motor and you can't get out of the way, or you feel like you will be in that position, have your paddle at the ready. So
here, take your camera real quick. I'm going to show you a little old man tip. So not that I'm not trying to encourage him to not give up a rod, but you actually don't even have to give up a rod. I figured this out the other day. I just actually cut a piece of pool noodle and put it right there, and then you can just set your paddle down between your rod holder, so you can still use the same amount of rods, but you have a paddle where you don't even have to lock or unlock it. It's just laying there and it's ready to grab and it's ready to go. Because I have mine cut down to 2 rod holders, instead of 3 and kind of more vertical, and then I could just set my paddle right in the gap, and it's like sitting there perfect. By the way, I get to keep this?
Sure. There's your birthday present.
Film tax. So anyway, all right, let's finish this thing. Yeah. Let's take them home.
All right, I want to show you one cool thing too about the side stage. So we'll take this, we'll set her right there, take these 2 rods out real quick, and show you something pretty cool. So, you know, you're done fishing for the day, and it's time to go home, time to travel across the country if you're a traveling angler, and you got to put a boat cover on, or it doesn't fit in your garage, whatever it might be. I just want to show you something pretty cool.
Put it on a trailer?
Put on a trailer. I mean, I can put it depending on how your trailer's set up. My trailer, I don't have to, or most people's trailers, but yeah, like you're buddying with somebody, most people fish on this side because the fishing world's backwards, because most people should be using a left-handed reel. I'm left-handed, so I use a right-hand reel. Anyway, that's an argument for a different day. I digress. But a lot of people don't know this. I'm actually gonna, believe it or not, a lot of people don't know how this lock and load base actually works. So it has a couple different positions. This is completely open, so you can take it off. But check this out. If I put this on, I close this, right? And it's got the indentation to go out without hitting, you know, there's that secondary little lever in there. But check this out. If I pinch that, you see how it raised it? Watch this. It raises it. What that does is it picks those teeth up out of each other, and I can take it, spin it inside. So if I'm traveling, I need to get a boat cover back on, whatever the case might be, you can actually take that thing and, you know, and you don't have to take it completely off. You just slide it out, slide it on, and it's that quick, that easy. And
as long as you don't pop this out like this and you just press it up to rotate it, it's actually still locked even when it's in the up position, so it won't come off.
So that's pretty much it. Oh, one more thing. Got it for
one more thing?
One more. So we got the rudder. If you're a bow mounter, or actually 2 more, actually 3 more. Yeah, there's quite a bit left.
About 7 more things.
Anyway, so if you have a bow mount, you're gonna want a rudder. This is the SS, well now it's the SS/XTR rudder. And I wanna show you a little tip with this thing, is if you're somebody who has, you know, this boat with a high power motor, or really it's just a boat, the motor doesn't do it as much, has such a draft and it's such a bigger boat, the water that comes around it ends up, if you don't do what I'm about to tell you, it'll just push that rudder up, and you might as well not have it back there. So what I did is, you can see right here, it's replicated on this side because there's a raising and a lowering for that rudder, is I mounted that right here, but then I took this thing right here. This is just a little clam cleat, and then I had to find the right screw size with the right, you could find a T-bolt or a backing plate. What are those little actual wings called?
Slugs.
Little slug. And
they're called track slugs.
Track slugs. So what I will do is this is the pull down. So this would be the lowering cable. I will take this cable, I will pull all that slack out. I mean, I'm giving it, anyway, I'll pull all the slack out and I'll lock it. Come back here with me. As you can see, look, that rudder will not get pushed up, but it can still steer, so I get the most amount of authority out of the rudder. And I'll show you over here real quick. If I unlock, you can stay back there. I'll unlock it. What'll happen is all that water will be coming off of the back of this boat, and eventually it'll just be right here. It'll just be trailing behind you, 0 authority, and you'll be spinning like a top. Or here's another tip. If you use a bow mount, right, and you are somebody who runs with the bow mount and you're at a higher speed, when you are past your cruising speed and you are on pad, we'll call it a kayak being on pad. We don't get on pad, but never steer with the remote. You never know if there's a Bluetooth or a wireless glitch to where you hit it once, you hit it twice, you hit it a 3rd time, and then you hit it again, and all you really needed to do was give it time. That motor's going to turn sideways and you're going to go out of the boat. So
especially with swivel seats.
Especially with swivel seats. So if you are somebody with a bow mount, and I'll say this on a Motor Guide XI3, a Minn Kota Terrova, the 55-pound thrusts, when you're under,
especially with the move,
especially with the 100, you know, the move, the Krakens, the Recon, any of those motors that are, you know, 100-pound plus thrust motors, when you are under power, especially if you have a rudder, lock that motor. Don't use the vector. Don't use the vector motor, the compass mode, whatever it's called, because then you're going to tell it to turn left. You're going to keep telling it to turn left, and it's going to want to turn right, and you're going to be fighting it. Just set the motor straight, go to the power you want, and steer with your feet. Now, I do not have the Wizard, the foot steerings on mine, because I like the stiffness or the resistance that I get from having these foot pedals on it, because those Wizards are so smooth. I like the resistance to keep that rudder locked, because sometimes if I'm on a point and I'm getting blown across, depending on how the point sets up in relation to the wind, I can take that rudder and say, hey, go to the right a little bit, and that'll help the spot lock out because it doesn't have to work as hard. So steer with your feet under high power. So we went and grabbed the Guardian Angel real quick. We charged her up some, and I just want to talk about the Guardian Angel and the remote that I use. So as you can see right here, we have the Guardian Angel. This is actually the Kayak kit. So it comes with the red and green that goes on the front. I've got a couple, I've got the ones mounted in my boat, like inside the actual hull, but then I actually use these and I've switched to these, is the Guardian Angel Kayak kit. And that's super cool is this one remote. So I don't have to be back there to get to it. This thing actually serves as more than just a navigation light, 360 light. You can, you know, click it to your truck, click it to something, and use it to get ready as a getting ready light. They have like a hat clip or something I saw the other day somebody had. You can clip it to your hat. You can buy, you know, they make a green one. So it just serves more than just a 360 light. It's multi-purpose, and it works as a great 360 light. We actually have gotten to a point where we're night fishing. When old man and I are going night fishing, used to do this thing where it's like, hey, where are you? Oh, you know where the channel bends, and then there's that one cove, but it's not that cove, the cove next to it that's beside it. And now we get to the point where we're like, hey, just hit your light. You know, when you're trying to meet up and rendezvous and kind of put a plan together, we just hit a light. And if this thing is against a bank and some trees, yeah, you can see them from miles away with this thing. But I'm gonna show you one cool thing. I mounted mine to the stern plate. That's the adhesive stick, but you kind of got to have the adhesive to mount the mount. And then I just took 2 screws and went into this plate because that plate is a little thicker. So I did mount that. But if you don't want to, you know, purchase that and use it, and you're somebody who uses a Power Pole Micro, you can actually, we got it right here, is buy a 1/4-20. This has a 1/4-20 stud on the top of it, and then you just put that yak attack
just mount to the ball.
Mount to the ball, and then so that thing would actually be up there, and no matter, you know, how high or how low you got your power poles. Oh, I haven't mentioned that yet. Have cool thing, another cool thing number 857 about the Power Pole Move is one remote to control both your power poles. So, but you can throw that on top, and that will most definitely be visible. This is visible, but up there, even more visible.
So I started doing that. So this is actually the pole for my boat. What I started doing with this is putting that on there so I could get it up higher. So when I'm night fishing and I set the hook on a fish, I can just hit the remote button and it turns on the lights and lights up the whole world.
I love it.
For filming, and it also lets Junior over there know across the lake I got a fish on.
Yeah, I love it. So, oh, we didn't even talk about this.
You said one more thing?
One more. I'm gonna make this one quick. Anchor Wizard on the side piece. I have total boat control, unmatched, bar none, between a Power Pole Move and the Micro, but I still have a place for Anchor Wizard on my boat. That is the 6-pound Anchor Wizard anchor, and I'll tell you what I use this for. Wind's blowing that way, and there's some fish stacked up in that pocket right over. That's not a pocket, but you get what I'm saying. Fish blowing, you have to imagine with me. Fish stacked up in this pocket. A lot of times, and most of the time, what you got to do is spot lock with the wind, and then you got to fish off the back of your boat, you know, past your rods, and it's just not as comfortable, higher risk, especially if you hook a big fish. So what I'll do is the wind's blowing this way, I'll drop the Anchor Wizard. I mean, that's got a 50-foot roll in it, so I can drop it in pretty much any fishable water, and I can be locked down, staying with the wind, and I have the front of my boat. I can fish off the front of my boat and still catch fish. Like, you know, one of the big things to do is get on a hump or a point or a long secondary point that's wind blown, cast with the wind with a crankbait, like a big plug like that, and just plug away. So still have the Anchor Wizard, and I mount it to the side piece. But that's pretty much...
The other thing that the Anchor Wizard is cool for is, let's just say you don't have everything. You don't have a Power Pole Move, you don't have power poles, you just want to get the Anchor Wizard. You notice how he's got it just kind of dangling down in the water right now, or like halfway.
Invisible water.
So if you're out there fishing and you mount it off of the bow and you're saying, oh, my boat doesn't track well because the wind blows me, that's actually not tracking. But if you just drop your anchor a foot and a half into the water, it creates enough drag that it keeps your boat from turning.
I'm not sure.
And you can do the same thing for spot lock or anchor mode, is if you drop that down and then you put anchor mode on, now the boat doesn't have to work as hard to keep the boat in place. Because again, these are designed for bass boats, and these, even this gigantic, you should have bought a boat right here, is still going to swing around on the bow more than a regular boat. So having the Anchor Wizard just kind of helps, just adds that extra level of boat control, fishability, and then it locks in.
You can see right there,
kind of right under the handle, like that.
Let me drop it back down real quick. As you can see, I've ran this thing for almost a year, and I haven't worn that out.
People are like, oh, it's going to wear through the boat. It's not.
There's a little,
and it's not even going to really wear through. There's like a little, really tiny rubbed spot that you can feel there. So
that's pretty much it. Anything else? Sweet? One more, so we're good.
Oh yeah, we
what?
We need to tell them to go subscribe to your YouTube channel. So tell them that, and then put a link in the description.
A link in the description, but it's Austin Hoover Fishing. I'm gonna do the thing. I'm gonna try to go out and do my own thing, or do my little side piece, give my little bit of insight, a little side piece, give my perspective. I want to give back. I've been very blessed to work in this industry with the best, not some of the best, the best. Man behind the camera, Gene Jensen's, Alex Rudds, and then just a bunch of different people. And the cool thing about being a cameraman in the fishing industry and being somebody who fishes and being somebody of a mindset like me is while you're out filming, you're also trying to learn little things that they do. So I'm starting a channel, so it'll be down in the thing. There's not much up on there now, but get ready, get prepared, because it's gonna be fun to do. I'm excited to take that leap into, you know, the next step of doing things. Still going to be working with Chad. I'm not going nowhere. This ain't a Lojo and AOY thing where they didn't agree.
You're stupid.
You're
not leaving the squad?
I'm not leaving the squad. I'm still here, and I'm just gonna give my own perspective on the fishing industry. So that's the beautiful thing about YouTube, is everybody's got their own perspective because they're coming from different lakes and they're coming from different styles of fishing. I'm just gonna do it. That's it. We're
gonna have the old guy and the newer guy perspective on everything.
So if there is any questions, I don't know how long this video is yet. I haven't edited it yet.
Just put them in the comments.
Just put them in the comments, and I will be in the comments to help you. If you got any questions, hit me up. But if there's anything I missed, anything specifics like this right here, I went with 4 rod holders, had to use a grid lock with the 90-degree vertical tie downs instead of the bungees. That's pretty straightforward. You just let me know and I will reply with, apparently on YouTube you can reply with a video now and a comment. I'll just come out here, leave the boat right here. I'll get my phone out and do the tiny little bits of things. Or if you're somebody who's getting a new build and you want help building it, hit your boy up, because I love helping people build their dream rig, because I have my dream rig right here. So let me help you build your dream rig. Is there anything you got, Chad?
That's it.
That's it. Doses.